I'm going to show you and teach you exactly how I quit playing video games and within the next month made my first 10 grand ever. Now, if your goal is to become a pro video game playing nerd, this video is not for you. But instead, this video is for people who have ambition, people who want to leave their current lives behind, people who want to provide for the people around them, people who want to leave a lasting impact on this life, and for people who have a life where they have so much money to the point where they never need to worry about money ever again. And honestly, video games will just waste your time. They're going to delay you from getting to that life, and overall just prevent you from even getting there at all. Now, I want to start by just giving you as much value as possible. And the thing that seriously made me give up video games, give up my PlayStation, my entire setup, and then start making money was not just the ambition to do that. And really quick, I'll tell you the story of what honestly let me do that. Now, I had a few businesses before my main one, Blue Shine, took off. And when I made all of my other businesses and worked on all of them, I never gave up video games until I started this one, Blue Shine, because it was not just something that I believed in, but something that let me get results in. Now, the reason I didn't quit earlier or before, and you may relate to me on this point, was because video games always gave me a sense of winning, a sense of moving up in something and accomplishing something. If you want success, winning, and things along the lines of that, it's pretty hard to give up video games, which instantly gives you that sensation when you aren't getting those things in real life. Now, I'm guessing it's the same thing with any other addiction. No one just quits, especially cold turkey, when they aren't getting the value or return from something else compared to, again, their addiction. Now, you need something that can take your video game time away and give you those same results and feelings. For you, that's either going to be committing yourself to something new or just pursuing into something that you're already doing that can change your life. Now, what can you commit yourself to? A project based around the best opportunity that you have for right now. Now, if you've been following me for some time, you know that I don't just promote my business model or what I do as the best thing since sliced bread, unlike all of the gurus or people around us. But instead, I teach the principles and how to go about it regardless of what vehicle you're using. Now, for you and overall, the best opportunity will either be something based around business, your work, or even school/education. And whatever you think it is, you need to start by just committing yourself to it fully. Also, really quick, I'll tell you the story about how I went about committing myself to the one thing for me and then quitting the video games as well. Now, before I started my business Blue Shine, my life was literally just wake up, school, video games, think about women, sleep, repeat. Now, I was very ambitious at this time as well. At the time, our family and me, we had nothing to our name. I had made maybe some money off of crypto at this time, but it was nothing spectacular nor something that really got me any results or moved the needle for me in any way. And honestly, at the time, I hated that feeling. And at this point, I didn't really have much knowledge or know-how to my name, besides the fact that I had worked sales the year before. And that's how I found my mentor. He was my old sales manager. And I remember there was this one day where we called and we were just talking about what businesses I could start, and I ended up not taking his advice. What I ended up doing was trying to replicate the same business model that he had. I started a fundraising company, which I then ended up getting an investigation for in fraud. Of course, I beat it because I wasn't doing anything shady. But after that, I ended up just throwing that to the side. After that, I started my window cleaning business, which, spoiler alert, that was Blue Shine. Not at the time it was called Blue Shine, but this is what it ended up being called. And by the way, you don't need to start a window cleaning company. That's not what the point of this video is for, but I'm just telling you what I did and how you can go about replicating what you want to do with the way that I went about it, if that makes sense. Now, at the time, this was a very big commitment for me. I ended up hiring my best friend at the time, which I would always play video games with, and I ended up spending $110 something on equipment, which for me at the time was a lot of money. Now, after I spent that money, the next day I went into a neighborhood close to mine and just started knocking on doors and telling people about my service. Now, that first day in business for myself, I ended up making $800, which was crazy to me at the time. I had never won like this before. And really quick, if you're enjoying this video and you're getting some value out of it, if you could please subscribe to the channel, it would honestly mean so much to me, as well as it would really help out the growth of the channel. Thank you. And after winning like that, especially when you've never had anything crazy in your life or anything even remotely close to that in your life, you get addicted to it. You just want to keep winning, which is kind of the same feeling that me at the time and most of you probably have towards video games. You want to keep winning, so that's why you keep getting hooked into it. And after a month of me continuously wanting that high and wanting to keep winning like that, I ended up scaling the operation to about 10 grand in the second month, or the month after I quit. Now, granted, I was stupid at the time. This was not 10 grand profit. It was more like 10 grand in revenue, but at 16 years old, this was pretty crazy to me and a pretty big stepping stone for me as well. But essentially, the moral of that story is things just happen so fast when you're able to commit yourself to one thing and when you're able to get results in that one thing. Now, my advice is not to slowly cut it out or even just to cut it out cold turkey, but to find something, commit yourself to it, get results, and then as a result of you getting those results, you're going to quit. Now, granted, that's not it. I have some extra tips that might help you out as well. Now, before this win, I was conscious about how bad the video games were for me, so I was trying to slowly cut it out. And what led up to me eventually getting to that 10 grand in a month was me slowly cutting those video games out. But not just by not playing the video games, but by replacing that time with something better and something that eventually led up to me getting to that point, which was doing something that involved such little physical power and honestly such little mental power to the point where it was so easy. Now, what I did was just spending 2 to 3 hours a day on just learning, reading books, watching videos like this, watching courses, and even joining communities similar to the one that we have, and just spending time in that. That ended up cutting my video game time down from 5 to 8 hours a day down to 3 to maybe 5 hours at most a day. And honestly, this is what I'd recommend for anyone who is super deep into that. Maybe depending on where you are, you're in school or you're doing something, you can't just quit and go balls to the wall on one thing. This is what you should do. Spend 2 to maybe even 3 hours a day on learning, watching videos, or even joining a community and talking with the people around you about how you can start making money, about how you can start bettering your life. For me, I spent maybe 3 or 4 months just doing this before I was able to take that massive leap and action, which then led to me getting the results that I had at the time, and then which led to me getting the results that I have now. Because honestly, right now, you need education, you need inspiration, and maybe even motivation from people around you, or even just from little actions that you do. And then after you do that, all you need is just more action and committing yourself more to the thing that you want to do, which will then lead to you getting the results that you want and getting away from the thing that you don't want, which is video games. Now, this is exactly how I went about getting to the thing that I wanted, which was the money, the business, etc., and getting away from the video games. Now, quick disclaimer, this will only work if you want to get away from the video games, if you want to get closer to your goals. Because if you don't want to give up the video games or even slowly give up the video games, regardless of what I say or anyone else says, this will not work for you. It first starts with you in your head wanting to get away from that, wanting to build your better life. So ask yourself, what do you care about more, the short-term pleasure or the long-term purpose-driven work, which will then lead you to your goals? Now, honestly, this is how I tell anyone to go about it if they're in my situation, or even if they're just spending too much time playing video games and they know it. Start small, just take an extra 2 to 3 hours a day away from video games, put it towards learning from videos, courses, or even communities, and then eventually after a few months, start taking action. Because by then you will have at least found one thing that you can start putting your time into, which will either be, again, a business, work, or just education. Now, this is exactly how I'd recommend my old self to go about it again, as well as anyone in the same shoes as me to go about it. Now, I can't guarantee that you're going to make 10 grand your first month out of video games, but if you just commit yourself and have your focus on the end goal, it will come that quick, or maybe even quicker, or maybe even a few months later. Now, if you do want more help with this, honestly, either just DM me directly on the Discord or just message in the main chat, and I'm always more than happy to help. Right now, it's fully free, so honestly, it doesn't cost you anything more than 1 minute of your time. But yeah, hopefully this also helps you out the way that it helped me out as well. And with everything being said, I do want to say thank you for watching the video. If you do want any more resources to help you out, I'd say either subscribe to the newsletter, because written form always just gives more gems, or for the millionth time, even just to join the community. With that being said, thank you so much for watching the video. Have an amazing day. Keep pushing towards your goal. Bye-bye.